Okay, so we'll look at Assassin's Creed 3 at 21:9. I really love this game, regardless of the hate it gets. Be it a mixture of nostalgia and actually just loving the setting, it's a title I really do like to return to every so often. Anyway, before I go on, let's go over the 21:9 support. So there is natively no ultra-wide support, like a few of these old AC games it seems. However, it's very easy to get it working. Go to the description and you just want to download either the Steam or Uplay file depending on the version you play with. I'll put a detailed step-by-step list of instructions as to what to do in the description, but essentially you are just replacing the original exe file with the modded one you downloaded, and you're off. It really is easy. Full credit to Jack Fust for the fixes. Brilliant as ever. By the way, apologies for the screwed up FPS counters. The Shadowplay one should never show up in recordings, yet for some reason it did here. So once you've loaded up the gameplay will correctly show off more on the sides of the screen, with no pop-in or lighting issues. It really does look gorgeous. The HUD is unfortunately stuck to 16:9, but it's admittedly not too bad. And superbly, the screen effects, such as when you are really damaged, use the entire screen space correctly, not cutting off a 16:9 or something. Cutscenes, thanks to their lovely in-game rendering, means that they are fully ultra-wide at all times. However, very occasionally you'll see one or two objects pop in or out of the picture on the sides, but I must say, it's rare and minimal when it occurs. What should be noted though is there are small black bars on the sides of the screen as if you were playing a 2560x1080 video on a 3440x1440 screen, because whilst both the classes 21:9 they technically are very slightly different aspect ratios. But these tiny black bars are very unnoticeable and they probably won't even be there on a 2560x1080 monitor, but yeah, I can't test that. The main menu is all stretched at all moments. In-game menus are all stretched. However, the map and the menus integrated with the map are scaled correctly to deal with 21:9. However, the sides of the screen have quite a lot of issue when panning around the map, with stuff popping in and out at random. But admittedly, at the zoom level that you're usually at, you won't really notice. The only cut-off side panels I saw are in the travelling to another location freeze screens, but again, they are so brief, it's hardly an issue. Performance-wise, it's not amazing. Cities are definitely easier to run than the frontier forested areas with the dense fog rolling over the ground. In cities, I could have everything on the highest settings, not that there are many settings to change, with TAA anti-aliasing, and in these moments would only dip to very high 50s if I was on the top of a building in a dense location. So generally, yeah, totally fine. However, on the frontier, I would be at the bottom end of the 50s, and so I ended up dropping anti-aliasing to high in order to stay above 60 FPS at all times. That said, regardless of what the FPS counters were saying, the gameplay just doesn't feel that perfectly smooth on the frontier, even though I'm above 60. And it's not just a case of my FPS fluctuating from like the 90s to 60s on a G-Sync monitor that's causing the effect. I don't know, it just doesn't feel buttery smooth. You should be able to see what I mean in the gameplay. All in all, performance isn't great. For this title, I would be expecting higher frame rates, at least in the 70s at all times, but at the same time, it's nothing unplayable. What needs to be noted though are the general PC issues, not 21:9 specific, just bugs this game has. There are most certainly a good few glitches. Check out this ridiculous fight I had around this horse and cart, which, by the way, they seem to be the biggest problem with the game. I even managed to fall through the world, things got so bad here. Though I can't deny, it was rather funny. Anyway, I checked around and it seems to fix this bug you have to turn Vsync on to lock FPS to 60 and things sort themselves out, but honestly I much prefer to be able to have a higher frame rate and no input lag, so as it's just the occasional wagon that causes a problem, I just put up with it. But if you want to turn on Vsync, you hit the next issue with the game. It has no Vsync or resolution setting for that matter in the menus. So to edit them, you need to go to your documents and find the Assassin's Creed 3 folder, and within there should be a file called assassin3.ini. In here you can set your resolution and also change Vsync on or off by changing the number next to it from 1 to be on or 0 to be off. You can also force Vsync off in NVIDIA control panel, do whatever you prefer. I also found you can set refresh rate here too. I stuck mine up to 95 from its previous 50, and that seemed to sort out the FPS limit I was having right at the start of playing. Regardless of all this glitching around, the game did only crash once for me, so it's actually pretty stable even if it does glitch the hell out at times. A further problem I had when starting, my Xbox One controller would not work straight away. I had to plug in my Xbox 360 controller, allow Windows to download the 360 driver, then the game detected both the 360 and my Xbox One controller, so I was able to take out my 360 one and then it just worked with the Xbox One all the time. It's a bit weird, but I hope that clears up that issue if you're having it. So as I said, I really do love this game. Despite the many problems it does have, the combat can be challenging, though at times can be too easy. The world with its multiple locations is beautiful, and it's a setting I really enjoyed playing through, with the fight of the Americans against the British and the natives versus both. Yes, there are typical, dull, repetitive missions like follow this guy and defend him, etc., like there always are in Assassin's Creed games, but there are also really fun missions. There is funny historic backstory writing when you can read up on the history of a building or event, and that makes them far more engaging. The game does suffer, like all the pre-Unity games, from a lack of control with movement, not having that far more developed ability to control your parkour, but it's not too debilitating or frustrating. Render distance should be possible to increase dramatically, as it simply is bloody frustrating watching people, objects pop in front of you, but I can't find any fix for that. And overall, I've always felt this game looks and feels different to the others in the series. Maybe it's the art style or something, but it just feels different. I'm not sure if you guys know what I mean. I don't know how to put it into words, but maybe you know what I mean. Anyway, all in all, I really do recommend this game. Yes, it's not on the level of, say, Assassin's Creed Black Flag, but then again, the setting and story are so very different that one may appeal to someone far more than another, so it's definitely going to be a personal opinion. I'm going to give this game a WideAsFcuk score of 3. It plays well with 21:9 in many places, but there is a lot of stretched moments and slightly glitched moments that I really can't give it a higher score. Anyway, I hope that gives you some information on how the game runs at 21:9. Give this video a like if you found it helpful, and subscribe for future info. For any of the games at 21:9, head over to my channel. Hopefully I've covered it. If I haven't, then leave a comment down below and I'll try and cover it. And if you'd like to donate to the channel, the links to my Patreon page are in the description. See you later.
Wait for the signal. Fire now. Prepare yourself. Go. Wait for the signal. Wait for my signal. Fire now. Make ready.